Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Airhauler 2 with me, Herd 37. So in our last flight, we were still on the B1900D, and we took a trip and we actually ended up back in Myrtle Beach. I think we'd kind of done a round trip almost in the last two episodes. And in this episode, we are going to go from our base in Myrtle Beach, KMYR, and we're going to go to our other base up here in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's KRDU. I figured that would be a good flight because that's going to be the last flight I'll be able to do on my days off, and of course that's one of our bases, so we should have some, when I'm ready to fly again, some good jobs for the B1900D, if that's what we're still in. Alright, so if you look at the wind here, Myrtle Beach is coming in basically from the north, so we're going to take off on runway 36, that's a heading of 357 degrees, and up here in Raleigh, if you can see, basically everywhere it's coming from the northwest, so it's basically a crosswind, no matter which runway you're going to choose. So we're going to come up here from the south, and we're going to land on runway 5 right. It's a heading of 054 degrees. It's a heading of 109.5. Actually, I forgot the elevation. So airport elevation about 433 feet. 433. All right, so we've got our... find this over here. I guess I could have done it from the plane, but it's television. It's only 132 miles straight line. I already closed it out. So it's 2,745 pounds. It pays 35 grand. So it's not a whole lot of cargo. 35 grand for 100. I think it was like 148. I think is what I made it at, somewhere around there. That's a ton of money. So I couldn't really pass that up. There's another job I thought about taking to Jacksonville, but heck, it was twice as long and it paid 25 grand. So I was like, I got to take that one to Raleigh. So, line this ourselves. I've already got it loaded up, by the way. Put it in that KO code. All right, so I've already got it loaded, 2,745 pounds. And our fuel, at 56.8%, that's 2,571 pounds. Says it's got a range of 567. I don't remember. I would have to look in the last video. Do we had that much when we landed? Like, that's a lot of fuel. I mean, you can almost double. I just don't remember having that much left. There would be no point in having that much left. All right, so it's not very far, so we're not going to go all that high. I don't know exactly how far to go. We could set, 14.5 might even be too. We'll try 12.5, but I'm not sure that we're going to get that altitude. Move that back because we got, I think it's -5 when we actually fly because that's Zulu time. Last position, of course. And with that, we can go ahead and move on over to the plane. All right, everybody, here we are in the plane at our base in Raleigh. Or no, sorry, this is Myrtle Beach, our base in Myrtle Beach, which we do have scenery for. We also have the scenery for Raleigh as well. In our plane, sexy. I love that it says that. It just kind of cracks me up. Alright, one thing I don't like about these instructions, it never actually tells you where you go before your taxi. It says like before takeoff, but there's some stuff before that. I kind of hate that it doesn't really tell you. But let's see, flaps, check and set. Let's go ahead and set those. I just hit the button for the flaps. I just noticed we need to change this on the 1200. There we go. Flight controls. Bring this up. This is good. Rudder pedals look good. Engine anti-ice. We need to turn that on for when we're taxiing. I believe that is right there. Engine anti-ice. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Auto feather should be armed. It's down here as well. It is armed. Manual propeller feathering. It's right here. I've got it set at 23%. I don't really hear any. I'm not sure if you're supposed to hear any difference on the ground. I know some do when you move it back. Control C, it says full 4, but I think that's on the final check. It actually taxis, because you've got this taxi. The taxi is better when you're it says taxi, so I'm guessing you have them down here on the taxi. It actually taxis a whole lot better when you've got it there as well. Alright, so let's see. All we've got is the fuel quantity, stuff like that. It should be about 56%. I'm guessing that's about good. It doesn't quite. I would think it would be over 10, but the way I did, I'd go in and I set every tank to 56%, including the reserves and everything, because that makes it really 56%. If you got everything set that way. So taxi light comes on. Alright, parking brake is off. Go ahead and start our taxi. To runway 36, heading of 357 degrees. I've got that, as you can see, set down here already. Our heading is set to 357. We need to let's see where we're going to taxi to. Getting already a little quick here. I believe out to the right is the taxiway, right? It's not the runway first. Right? Like, that's not the runway, I don't think. Is it? Is that the runway? Because we need to taxi on down. No, I believe that there is, in fact, a taxiway over there. That's what it looked like. Alright, make our way over there. I know with the props back like that, it does take a little bit. It feels like you got to use more power. But see, that is the runway right there. Daggone it. I thought there was a taxiway over there. I guess this is the taxiway you got to use. Actually, probably we could go over to the runway right there and take off, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that there's enough room. It is a pretty long runway here. And we better make sure that this taxiway doesn't end up here. Now it goes on off to the left. I don't fly here ever very much. It's just an air hauler 2 is the only times I ever fly here. We've been here a lot lately, but it's been over the course of a month or so. So I don't really know this airport too well. I wish there was some more intersections here. It seems like there's a long way, because we could take off, like I say. I think right now we'd have plenty of room. We're not that heavy. We're well under our weight restraints. Man, it feels like we're getting quick. Which I'm sure we probably are taxiing way too quick. Let off the power a little bit. Although on a smaller plane it could feel quicker anyway. Alright, we'll take this taxiway over here to the right. We'll get this thing up in the air hopefully shortly. Man, I don't know what it's been lately. I cannot get on the center line at all. I don't know why I keep struggling with that. I think it's because the P factor. I've got it turned back up when I redid FSX. I don't know if that's it or not. It would make more sense in a single engine. See, I can't even hardly turn very well. I've never been that great, but man, it's bad. Although, if I ever get my triple monitor set up and track IR, because I've been looking at stuff because we're getting towards the holidays, and it's like, man, everything's going to go on sale. Kind of saving up. I think it's going to cost so much money, though. Alright, here we are. We'll stop right here. Short of the runway. Alright, let me hit this parking brake. And we'll go through this final list. Prop levers, confirm full forward. So moving full forward now. Flaps, confirm set. They are set. You can actually see our flaps right here. I don't even remember, because I use the button. there it is. Where the switch was, that's right there. Brake de-ice, if installed, it's got to be off. It is off. Stall warning heat is on. Left and right pitot heat are on. Auto feather, confirmed armed. Auto feather is armed. Ice protection as required. So I've got prop in auto. I'm going to go ahead and move the windshield out the way. I think it can be off. I mean, right now it's 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Now up in the air, maybe we would turn it on. Bleed air valves. This is where it always gets interesting because I'm not too sure about it. I've got them, I believe, off right now. Open. Actually, so they should be closed. For takeoff, I do believe. Enviro mode as required. And the blowers, man, I really don't quite understand it. I really don't quite understand it. Annunciators, either extinguished or considered. So we've got our ignition and our anti-ice. I can't remember on the, I believe, auto feather. Interior, exterior lights, we'll get those in 1 second. We've got our V1, VR, and V2 speeds. That should be good. The only thing is the anti-ice. I guess we do take off with the anti-ice. See, that zaps power. Let's see. Prop levers. See, it doesn't actually say anything about it. Because that zaps power from your... I got it. It says ground operations. You know, you're supposed to have them on. That's the thing that gets me. Because, like I say, that zaps power from your engine, so we would think that's got to be off. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Come on, thing. There we go. So I'm going to turn those off. You can actually hear the engines come up a little bit. Landing lights coming on. Strobes coming on. Look like there's anyone there. Alright, we'll go ahead and take the runway and actually just get on out of here. Oh, you know, one thing, I just thought about that. That doesn't tell you to check that. We had that mess up one time before. We still took off and everything. It's just, it's not how it should be. And we'll set that, oh my god, to GPS. I took my hands off, and that's what happens. Alright. That totally screwed everything up. Having to click that button. Alright, here we go. Full power. Pushing forward on the stick. Airspeed's alive. Alright, we can go ahead and rotate. Trying to pull gently so we don't do that tail strike again. Once it gets airborne, it loves to start climbing. Positive rates of gears coming up. We can go ahead and retract the flaps. We'll get out past the airport a little ways, and then we'll go ahead and start turning to the right. Oh, I was trimming it, and it trimmed way down all of a sudden. Didn't mean to trim it like that. Let's start reducing power. Alright, let's go ahead and go. Grandstand VOR is where we're headed to first. Then we'll head on up the airway. For a little ways. Obviously, this is a really short flight. What, 148 miles, nautical miles, or something like that? Hey, I gotta get these checklists out. I hate flying like with one hand and then also trying to read as well. Flaps are up. Bleed air valves, we'll get that in a second. Yaw damper. I think you gotta open up the thing to get to the yaw damper. Yaw damper on. Climb powers, we need props to 1550. And prop sync on and windshield anti-ice to normal. So prop sync coming on. I'm trying to fly left-handed. Windshield anti-ice to normal. Let me get this up. Autopilot engage, nav, altitude select, and let's go ahead and we'll climb at 1,200 feet a minute. And I can start checking stuff. I'm surprised at 81%, and yet look at our speed. So we need to get to 1550. If I remember correctly, it's about 82, 83%. 1570. Let's check 83%. 1557, that's good enough, I believe. And we're set to 12,500 feet. And I tell you, at one person doing this and reading these checklists is kind of crazy. Taxi light can come off. We're at 4,500 feet. And lead valves, we can go ahead and open those back. Yaw damper, climb power, props, prop sync, windshield anti-ice normal. So I believe that's all we need for right now. Then at cruise, we'll get to cruising power. Auto feather will come off, which is kind of weird. I thought that would be on cruise. It's kind of backwards, I would have thought. But at the same time, I guess I can kind of see it. Alright, it's 52 degrees up here, so we don't really, I don't have to worry about icing or anything. Whoops. See, I just think that 12.5 is excessive. I don't think there's any... I think 8,500 even is probably higher than we'd actually need. Actually, we're not supposed to be on the evens. That's my bad. We'll set this to 7,500. Because I did have it on evens, but of course, north and east you got to go on odds, and was it south and west you go to evens. So now we're correct because we just go up here a short ways. It's almost at the end of that one, I believe, that waypoint. Like, I don't even think we want to be at 7,500 at that waypoint. We've got to get it down to about 3,500 feet for our approach. ILS. So 1,000 to go. And we'll put this at 109.5 if I can. .09. 0.5, move that up. Feels like we are really pitched up all of a sudden. We're about at our cruising height though. And they're just coming back down. Yeah, 109.5. Because it's weird how you almost have to do it on the one on the panel here. It doesn't really want to change all the numbers right there. There we go, though. Right there, 109.5, 109.5. We're at our 7,500 feet that we want to be at. Alright, so with that, we can go ahead and speed up. It'll just be a second. Like I say, it's a really short flight. So, I will be right back in a minute. Alright everybody, slowing it down to normal speed. I'll try to have to cut this in. We were a couple hundred feet from landing and the computer OOM'd. Again, I never had these problems before with like Raleigh, I don't remember, in Jacksonville. I think it's Bitdefender. That's the only thing, that and Active Sky are the only things I've changed. Bitdefender just takes an enormous amount of resources, so I don't know if that's what's causing it or what. Well, this is getting really, really annoying. Anyhow, we're making our final turn here at 054 degrees. 109.5 is the ILS frequency. The airport is right there. We're actually going to have to go over here just a little bit. We need to bring our speed way down as well. Hopefully I don't get off too much here. I'm a little aggravated at this whole thing happening. So let's move our heading over just about straight ahead. Go to heading mode right there. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that. So we're just below. I want to put that at 2,700. We're just below the glide slope. Sorry, got to get some stuff set up here. Now we're almost on the glide slope. Now we're going to have to go ahead and hit approach hold. So I don't know if we're pointed well enough at the thing for that to go. This is 054 degrees. Alright, so it is turning. We need to get our speed down a little bit further. There's the warning. Gears coming down. We'll just set this to 3,000. Alright, so we've got to get some things set up real quick. Bring the power down more. Auto feather needs to be armed again. So we'll go ahead and arm that. Pressurization, we need to get our flaps down. It looks like everything else is pretty much like good to go for right now. Put those full forward. We're in the arcs, so we can start bringing our flaps down. I'll reset my views here. Actually, we need to get our taxi light as well. Right there. Alright. We need to bring our speed up with those flaps being out. This is my fault. That's got us pitched up now. Now we're going to go full flaps. Bring the power up just a little bit more. Man, our approach the first time was absolutely beautiful. Of course, now it's not going to be so beautiful on this one. We're almost 1,000 feet above. Alright, so I'm going to start bringing the power back because we're going to have to start getting down a little more now. And we're going to get too fast, so I'm going to bring that back. Alright, we're about 1,000 above. Yaw damper, autopilot can all go off. Alright, we're slightly high, but that's alright. By the way, 5 right, apparently, I thought it was the main runway. Apparently it's not. You can see there's a left, 5 left is going to be the main runway. Because I'm worried about the KRDU thing. So I was trying to pick the main runway, and I guess I picked the wrong one. As you can see, we're a little fast. Like I said, the first one was, man, it was beautiful. And now I've gone and screwed it all up. Although we're recovering nicely. Now we're getting a little too low, so we'll bring the power back up. Our speed is slowing down. There's a little bump in the wind. Fly her down to the runway. See, we're a little fast, and so that's going to make it harder to get down. Alright, it says it was okay. I thought we might get a slight hard. I was pitching her up, flaring it right as we were about to hit. That's the only thing with, with the speed being a little quick, you're trying to fly it down to the runway and stick enough the power. So you're gonna float her. Alright. Not horrible. Actually, not really all that bad. I'm not too disappointed with that, honestly. Just wish I could have got my speed down a little more. Awesome, and we'll probably park over here instead of going all the way around. Although, I don't know, the KRDU thing really freaks me out. If it tries to say I'm at the wrong airport or something. See, Southwest is over here. Maybe we could... See, I really don't know what to do. Because that thing will really screw you up. It'll say we delivered it to the wrong airport and everything. We'll start with a parking brake. Retract the flaps. Landing lights can come off. Strobes as well. Alright. Ah, man. What to do? It's just... After landing, so power steering, prop levers, go down to taxi. I had it at 23% last time. I'll try and get it around that as well. 23. There's 23. So the lights as required, we've got that. Engine anti-ice needs to come on. Stall warning heat can go off. It's right there. Left and right pitot heat can go off. It almost seems like this is a shutdown, but it just says no. Ice protection. See, it says off. Engine auto ignition off. All that stuff goes off. Alright, so windshield anti-ice off. Prop auto off. Let's see. Prop de-ice, windshield anti-ice, left and right fuel vent. I haven't had. So all that was already off. Transponder, you can't really turn that off. Flaps are up. Radar off. We don't really have the radar. You see, then it like starts over, and it's like basically the same freaking page. I don't know if they realized that they did that. Alright, that is the end of that. So I'm really worried about, are they going to say that we're at ZRDU instead of KRDU? Because like I say, the main runway is actually on the other side. But maybe ZRDU starts down there. I really don't know what they're going to say. Let's taxi right over here. Might have to go near the jetways, but that's just to make sure that they don't screw us and say that we're at ZRDU instead of KRDU. It's the only airports I've ever noticed an issue with. So I'm gonna be very cautious. And if not, then, you know, I'll just do the flight off the video and say it's... I'll still show this, but say, you know, it's done, because obviously we've done the flight, we've landed at the correct airport. It just has its little thing about ZRDU and KRDU, which like I say, I do not understand. I think it's just a glitch. I don't know if it's a glitch in the scenery or what. I'm not going to pull up to the jetway. That would be a little ridiculous. Yeah, we'll stop right here. Turn on our parking brake. Taxi light can come off. Now, as always, I don't want to really shut this thing down because I got to start it back up to do the replay, which, by the way, stop recording. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the fuel. Alright, let's hope that it says it. See? Airfield ZRDU. Alright, so... Well, I guess I'm not going to do the flight monitoring results and all that stuff, because I'm going to go back over to FSX and taxi around, but there's no need to show that. So that's the thing. I don't know what the ZRDU crap is, man, and I don't know how to get away from it. So I guess I'll go to the other side. Alright, everybody. Cutting back in again, because I didn't know. I just taxied the plane over to the main part of the airport, and it recognized me as KRDU. So I went ahead, well, see, it does have KRDU, so I went ahead and unloaded it. And now we can actually show, this is, I was like, man, I won't be able to show that. Alright, so takeoff 5:01, touchdown at 5:24. Really? Only 39 minutes? 5:41? Took off with 2,511 pounds, landed with 1992. So we're saying that's 19 pounds. There's absolutely no way that's like a couple gallons of fuel on a B1900D. There's no way. That's so weird. Max altitude, 7,511 feet. Max pitch, negative 10.96. Max roll, negative 27.3. Max speed, 243.8 knots. We did get a little bit overspeed on the descent. Minimum G is 0.76. Minimum G's exceeded 0. Max G is 1.93. Max G's exceeded 0. Stall false. Overspeed false. Any description okay. Gear down true. Landed on concrete. No damage to the runway. No damage to the plane. Came down a little quick though. Seems like negative 223.8 feet a minute. Landing speed 99.68 knots. Landing pitch negative 3.47. Landing rolls negative 0.138. Landing heading 53 or 53.0. Landing wind speed 4. Wind direction 10. See, then it says this other sector because the taxi. I really don't get it. It's got to be, I guess, something with the scenery. Because I wouldn't think it would. Air Hauler 2 is going to have like a ZRDU, KRDU. For some reason, I can't. That doesn't want to close either. Awesome. Thanks. Come on, hopefully it's just locked up. Yeah, there it kind of locks up. Air Hauler 2, really, really slow. There's Huntington, so here's KRDU. I'm at available jobs, but I can't fly again because that's pretty much the end of my weekend due to football. And then going back to work. So there's KRDU. Man, we got tons of people there. And we got tons of flights, passenger flights come out of KRDU. At some point we need to go over to Charlotte, though. That's going to be our next base, I think. And then we should have a bunch of stuff for Charlotte, because that's a pretty big airport on the East Coast. And then, like I said, I believe, I might have said before, then we'll kind of start heading down to the south. I'd like some more bases down in Florida. We've got scenery. So I don't really know, because like Tallahassee, we have scenery for that, but would that be a waste of having a base there? How much are we going to use it? But I mean, if you do passenger flights out there, it should pay it for itself. We got Miami. I believe there's a couple other. We got KRSW. Have we made our base there yet? No, right here? Nope. So that's one. I love that scenery there. So we'll get that. Daytona, we still need that because we've got great scenery for that. So there's still a lot of stuff to do here on the east. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.